Welcome to MirrymasCrafts. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this mini handbag here. This is a very simple bag to crochet, and we're going to be using the spike stitch throughout the bag. The bottom we're going to be using single crochet. So this is a very simple bag to crochet, so you don't have to worry. Even if you are a crochet beginner, I'll show you every step. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do hit the subscription button as well as the notification button to receive new updates on the videos that I release. So let's see what we're going to need for us to crochet this bag. So for this bag, I used macrame. This is macrame called 4mm thick polyester macrame. However, you can use any other type of yarn that you have. Just make sure that it is thick, and also you can adjust the size of the bag depending on the type of yarn that you're using. You're also going to need a crochet hook. I used a 6mm crochet hook, this one. You're also going to need a tapestry needle. This is for joining the handles as well as fastening the ends. You're also going to need stitch markers. I used about 7 of them. You're also going to need sewing needle and thread, but this is optional. Just put this button here, but you can use a zipper here instead of a button. You're also going to need a scissors. This one here also is optional, the handmade tag. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so we're going to begin with the base of the bag. Okay, so here I'm going to do a foundation chain of 11. However, if you want your bag to be smaller, you just reduce this number of chains, and if you want your bag to be bigger, you increase the number of chains here. So I'm going to make the slip knot. So I'm going to chain 11. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to continue and come back with the chain of 11. So to begin my first round, okay, this is my chain of 11. I'm going to skip this first stitch from the hook, this one. Then I'm going to insert my hook into the second stitch, second chain, sorry, and then grab my yarn, pull through to have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and then pull through. So this is my first single crochet in US terms and double crochet in UK terms. So I'm going to put a stitch marker in this first stitch here. So we're going to maintain the stitch marker up until we finish the bag. It is marking the starting point of our rounds. So I move on into the next chain. Okay, grab my yarn, pull through, yarn over, and then pull through again into the following chain, pull through, okay, like this. So I'm going to continue doing 1 single crochet in each chain up until I'm in this last chain here. Okay, so now I'm left with this 1 chain here. So I want to be able to turn and then start crocheting at the back of the chains this side. So I'm going to put 5 single crochets in this chain. Okay, so you might want your stitch markers here. So I'm going to put 5 in the same chain. That's 1. Okay, again in the same chain, 2. So I'm going to put a stitch marker in the second one, this one. Okay, and then I'm going to put 3. Again, put another stitch marker in the stitch. And then 4. Another stitch marker. So now we're going to put the 5th one like this. So you can see that we have created a curve here, and now we've turned. We're now starting to crochet in the back of the chains. So this is a tail end here. As I'm going to be crocheting, I'll be hiding it as you crochet. So now we're going to be inserting our hook here at the back of each chain. Okay, so I'll be inserting here, in here, in here. Okay, so I'm going to put 1 single crochet at the back of each chain like that. Then I move on here like that. Okay, 1 single crochet, then in here, so here I'm left with this one chain here, back of the first chain. So in this one I'm going to put 4 single crochets. Okay, remember here we put 5, here we're going to put 4. We're also assuming that this first one is also coming from here to make it the 5th one. So I want this side to be equal to this side, so I'm going to put 4 single crochets. That's 1. Okay, we put the second one, 2. So I'm going to put a stitch marker in the second one, and then 3. Again, let's put another stitch marker there, and then the 4th. Again, let's put another stitch marker. Okay, so now we've finished the first round. So we find that we have 3 stitch markers here, and then 3 here plus this one. Okay, so now we move on to the second round. So we're going to continue with single crochet. So here, this is the first stitch, this one. Okay, so I'm going to remove the stitch marker and then put 1 single crochet in the stitch. Okay, 1 single crochet, put back the stitch marker. Then I'm going to continue with 1 single crochet in each of the stitches that follow. Okay, so I'm going to continue with 1 single crochet in each stitch up until I'm at the stitch with the stitch marker. Okay, so here in the stitch I'm going to remove the stitch marker, and then I'm going to put 2 single crochets. Okay, 2, so that's 1 in the same stitch, 1 single crochet, and then when you put the first one, remember to put back the stitch marker in the first stitch. Okay, like that. And then in the same stitch I'm going to put another single crochet like this. Okay, so move on to the next one, remove the stitch marker and then put 2 single crochets. 1, put back the stitch marker in the first stitch. Again, put another 1 single crochet. Okay, move on to the next, put 2 single crochets. That's 1, put back the stitch marker, and then another 1 in the same stitch like this. So you find that we've added 1, 2, 3 more stitches. By doing this, we're increasing the width and the length of our base. So here we don't have stitch markers, so I'm going to put 1 single crochet in each of the following stitches. Okay, 1, okay, so I'm going to continue putting 1. Let's meet in the stitch. Okay, so in this stitch, in these 3 stitches here, we're going to repeat what we did here. So we're going to put 2 single crochets in each. That's 1, and don't forget to put back the stitch marker. Then again, that's 2. Again, repeat that into the next stitch. 1, 2. So this is the last stitch. Remember, this one here is marking the starting point. So this is the first stitch of the round and this is the last. So in the last one, again, I'm going to put 2 single crochets. That's 1, and then 2. Okay, so let's put back the stitch marker like this. So here we've finished the second round. Okay, you can see that the size of our base is increasing. Okay, like that. So here we're going to do 2 more rounds, repeating what we just did with the second round. So we're going to do round 3 and round 4, repeating the second round and then come back. So I've now finished the 4th round, and if you count your stitches, you find that we have 44 stitches. So now with the pattern that we want for the sides, it is spike stitch. So spike stitch, the stitch that we want to do for the rounds, this one, okay, it requires you to have odd numbers, okay. So 44, you find that it is an even number, so one number is like 45, 47, 49. So what we're going to do here is, since we have 44 here, I'm going to put an extra stitch here, another stitch in this last stitch here, okay, to make them 45. That way we'll be able to do the pattern that you want to do for the sides. So if you count now, we now have 45 stitches. So now we're going to remove this and remain with this one. So now this is the base of our bag. So to begin the sides, we're going to do 1 round of single crochet. Okay, so here I'm going to remove the stitch marker, and then I'm going to crochet 1 single crochet in each stitch. Then we put back the stitch marker. So I'm going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch like this, right round up until I'm back here. So now we'll move on to the next round, which is going to be spike stitch. So here, this is my first stitch, okay. So this is how we crochet the spike stitch. So this is the first stitch, this one. So we will find that we have the front loop and the back loop, okay. Here we have this front loop here, and then we have this back loop. So I'm going to insert my hook in the back loop and then work 1 single crochet like that. So I'm going to put back the stitch marker in this one, and then in the following stitch I'm going to do a spike stitch. So here, this is where we are supposed to insert our hook, okay, the working round, but I'm going to go 1 round below, okay. We're going to skip this part and then insert my hook here, okay. I'm going to insert here, grab my yarn, pull it through so that it is at the working round, at the level of the working round, yarn over, and then work a normal single crochet like that. So this is the spike stitch that I just did, okay. So in the following stitch, I'm going to work 1 single crochet in the back loop, okay. This is the front, the back, like this, okay. And then in the next, I'm going to do a spike stitch, this one that we did here. So we skip this hole here, and then here you go 1 round below, and then you work 1 spike stitch like that. So we now have 2 spike stitches, this one as well as this one. So going to be alternating spike stitch and single crochet in the back loop like this, okay. Here we do the spike stitch, so we skip this part and then we go 1 round below here, okay, like this. So you can see that we have these long single crochets here, okay. Those are the spike stitches. So I'm going to alternate spike stitch, single crochet, spike stitch, single crochet up until I'm back here at the starting point. Welcome back. So this is the round that we did with spike stitch, and here I'm back at the starting point. So you find that if your round begins with 1 single crochet in the back loop, this one, it also ends with 1 single crochet in the back loop. So now in my next round we're going to begin with the spike stitch. So you find that to begin the next round, I'm going to remove the stitch marker here. So this one is a spike stitch, and here we have a single crochet in the back loop. So I'm going to skip this part, and then I'm going to insert my hook here, okay, and then work a spike stitch like this. So you should have this small loops that should protrude outside. Okay, these ones, I hope they're visible. So I'm going to put back the stitch marker, and then in the next stitch, this one that we did spike stitch in the previous round, we're going to do one single crochet in the back loop. So we're now alternating. The one that was a spike stitch in the previous round is now a single crochet. Then this one that was single crochet is now going to be a spike stitch. So I'm going to turn off the light a little bit so that you are able to see the stitches. Okay, so this one was single crochet in the previous round, so now it's going to be spike stitch. So I'm going to set my hook here and then work a spike stitch like this. Okay, and then this one was spike stitch. It's now going to be single crochet in the back loop like this. Okay, you can see now these loops here, these are as a result of us inserting our hook in the back loop. So this one was single crochet, now it's going to be spike stitch. So I insert here like this. Okay, so I'm going to go right round and then come back to show you. Welcome back. So I've completed the round that we're working on, so you can see the spike stitch. Okay, and my bag is curving inwards like this. Okay, so we're going to continue with the pattern. Okay, here you can see that I finished with spike stitch. I began with spike stitch. So my next stitch here is going to be single crochet in the back loop. So we're going to continue doing this pattern, repeating it up until we have 13 rounds and then come back. Welcome back. So I now have 13 rounds and we now want to crochet the handles. So what we're going to do here is lay your bag flat. Remember, this is the starting point of our round. So I'm going to lay my bag flat like this, and then I'm going to put one stitch marker along this edge. Okay, this one. So I'm going to put here, and from this point I have 1 2 3 4 5 stitches to this starting point. Okay, so you find that we have a total of 45 stitches right round. So if you divide that with 2, you get 22.5. So I'm going to count 22 stitches and then put another stitch marker here, so that we have one side with 22 stitches and then the other side with 23 stitches. So I'm going to start counting from this stitch with the stitch marker. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22. Okay, so I'm going to put another stitch marker in this stitch. Okay, so from here, from this stitch to this point, we have 22 stitches, and then from this stitch here up until this stitch before the stitch marker, we have 23 stitches. So this one has got one more stitch than this side, but you don't have to worry about that, it won't show. So now we're going to begin with this side. So here we want our handle to have 11 stitches. Okay, 11 stitches. So here, because I want to continue using this yarn here, I have 1 2 3 4. Okay, so this one here is going to be the 5th stitch. So that's 1 2 3 4 5. Then I'm going to turn again the side and I'm going to count. This is the stitch with the stitch marker, so move to the next one. 1 2 3 4 5. So I'm going to put another stitch marker in this one. Let's put the red one like this. Okay, so that we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 stitches. So for our first handle, we're just going to come here, we're going to begin another round. So I'm going to remove this one. This is our starting point, and then I'm going to continue here. So we have single crochet in the back loop like this, and then I'm going to put back the stitch marker like this. So I'm going to move and then I'm going to insert my hook here, okay, in this stitch. This one. So here it's spike stitch like this, okay. So in the following, single crochet in the back loop, and then here spike stitch like this, single crochet in the back loop, so here you no longer need this. So you can see now we're back at the starting point, okay. So here I've sort of joined, so I want to continue crocheting the side up, crocheting in the round. So what you're going to just continue doing is when you reach the starting point like this, you remove the stitch marker, and then you continue here. This point is going to be a spike stitch, so insert your hook here, like this, and then put back the stitch marker, and then you continue. So this was a spike stitch, so we're going to put a single crochet in the back loop, here we're going to put a spike stitch. So we're just going to continue with the pattern. So already you can see that we have this short handle, so we're going to continue crocheting along this round here up until we have 13 rounds, and then come back to do the other handle. Welcome back. So this is the other side of the handle, okay. So we now have 13 rows from this point up until this point. So if you want your handle to be longer, you just keep on increasing the rounds. And also, if you don't want your hand to be this thick, you can just reduce the number of stitches here. Instead of putting 11, you can just put 9 or 7, okay. So now we're going to cut here, and then we're going to fasten off here, and then we're going to do the other side of the handle, okay. Okay, so this is our handle. I fastened off here. So now I want to do what we did this side, the same as this side, okay. So what I'm going to do here is, I have the stitch marker here. It's almost the middle point, but what I'm going to do here is, we want a total of 11 stitches here. So I'm just going to choose a point here, 1 2 3 4, and I'm going to put a stitch marker, and then we have 1 2 3 4, so this is the 5th, so we need 6 more stitches. So I'm going to say 1 2 3 4 5 6, okay, so that we have a total of 11 stitches here. That's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, okay. So I'm just going to remove this one. So okay, from this point up to this point we have 11 stitches. So now I'm going to do a slip knot, like this. Then I'm going to come and begin in the stitch, this one, okay. Okay, like this. So I'm going to do one more chain like this one. This is going to be my first stitch, okay. So I'm going to put a stitch marker in this one, and then I'm going to continue with the pattern. So here we're going to do a spike stitch like this, okay. And the following, single crochet in the back loop, spike stitch, single crochet in the back loop, okay. So we are now here. I'm going to do okay. So from here I'm going to go on into this stitch. Okay, from this point I'm going to go on into the stitch. So this one, because we last did single crochet in the back loop, sorry, this one, I'm going to do a spike stitch in this one. So I'm going to remove the stitch marker, this one, and then I'm going to insert my hook here. Then I'm going to continue with the pattern. This was a spike stitch, so I'm putting one single crochet in the back loop, and then this one is going to be a spike stitch. Okay, so here this is the starting point of the round. So we'll now move on to make the third round. So in the back loop like this, okay, then I put back the stitch mark. So you can see here already we have this short handle, so I'm going to do 13 rounds just like we did the side, and then come back to join the handles. So here we now have two handles of the same size, so I'm just going to cut here and then fasten off, and then I'm going to join the two. So here you fold So you move into the next stitch, insert your hook below both loops like that. Then you come the side. Okay, so this is our bag. So you can put a zipper or a button here. So I'm just going to put this button here for decoration, as well as this handmade sticker here. Okay, so this is our bag. If you want, you can go on and put a button here on the other side, but like this, it is done. Okay, you can also put a zipper here or a magnetic snap. It's still fine. Thank you for watching MirrymasCrafts. Please do subscribe, like, and comment for more videos. Thank you.